Yes guys, welcome to a brand new video. My name is Conan and today we're going to be going over my 150-day lean bulking transformation. So let's get into it. Before we do get into it though, as you guys can clearly tell, we're currently going on our morning walk right now. Just ate some breakfast, currently letting the food digest a bit. Then once I do get back home, I'm actually expecting a package in the mail. So hopefully that should come in. I'll open it up and then we'll go over to the gym and then we'll get into the lean bulking transformation. Let's go. Okay, so I just came back from my walk and I just came home to a very special package. I am so excited to open this up. So as you guys can tell, the package is from Hardbody. And now first things first, I just want to say, look at that packaging. I mean, wow. I mean, when it comes to first impressions, I mean, this is absolutely insane. It comes in a massive black box with the big Hardbody logo on top. And now for those of you who are unaware or not sure about this, Hardbody is basically a lifting equipment company by Brendan Harding. Now again, for those of you who have no idea who Brendan Harding is, he's a super famous YouTuber, or I guess you want to say fitness influencer. And it's so funny because I've been watching his videos pretty much when I first got into fitness, along with Christian Guzman and stuff like that. So like I've literally been watching his videos for like years on end, and it's just so funny for him to actually reach out to me and actually send me a package like this. So honestly, before we get into it, big shout out to Brendan Harding. Thank you so much for reaching out to me and actually sending me the package like this. It was actually quite surreal when he messaged me and offered me this. So again, a big thank you. Now let's open her up. So like I said, the box looks absolutely insane, and when you open it up, I actually like how it opens up like this. It's like a magnetic type of thing, which is quite nice as well. And then once you do open it up, he gave me three things. So first things first, there's a card in here which is pretty cool, which basically says, welcome to Hardbody. This is our new collection of fitness accessories that will protect you on your journey of physical development. We are here to strengthen your already powerful self. Thank you for supporting Hardbody. Please let us know what you think. Then he gave me four extra things. So first things first is a lanyard here, which is quite nice. And then what I'm really excited about are these three things here. So firstly, he sent me some wrist straps, and these come in like a white camo color, which is a pretty cool color, and it comes in a nice little bag like this as well, which is quite cool. And so basically, wrist straps are absolutely ideal when it comes to any pushing movements. So like a bench press, close grip press, any type of pressing movement, even an overhead press, something like that, because especially once you get more advanced, I mean, the strain and the pressure your wrists get by doing a lot of pushing movements is quite a lot, and so protecting your wrists by having some wrist straps is definitely very beneficial. Secondly are some wrist wraps, and now I actually use this on most of my workouts, especially my pull workouts, because for those of you who are unaware, wrist wraps help tremendously to kind of get your forearms out of it and helps you focus more on like the target muscle group. So for example, when you do any pulling movements such as a row or a pull down, oftentimes your forearms give up before your actual back muscles do. And so in order to compensate for that, I highly recommend having some wrist straps as well, because it basically takes your entire forearm out of it. And unless you want to have a good forearm workout, I highly recommend having wrist straps, because again, your back will be the limiting factor instead of your forearms. So again, these are great for rows, pull downs, even the Romanian deadlifts where you want to focus on your hamstrings but you don't want your grip to be a limiting factor, deadlifts as well, and stuff like that. And then last but certainly not least, this is like the sickest thing I've seen all day, and that is a lifting belt. And honestly, I love this design, and the color as well. It's like a matte silver-ish color, super clean, super soft. And as you guys can tell here, it's got the hard logo body right here, and again, it's super soft. But like most equipment, it is kind of tough when you first try it on. So definitely when you do get all this new equipment, I definitely recommend like wearing it in a bit more so it kind of gets a bit more softer and more malleable, because right now it's kind of like tough and like hard. And so obviously over time it'll get a bit softer and almost like mold towards your own body. So I personally haven't really been wearing lifting belts much, but definitely they do help tremendously, especially with the compound lifts. So pretty much any compound lifts where you have to brace your core against something, lifting belts are a no-brainer. I definitely do recommend having lifting belts, especially as you get more advanced and start lifting heavier weights. I mean, they help so much. With any squat variation, any deadlift variation, even overhead pressing or even the bench press, this definitely helps you brace your core against something so you can push with more force and power. So that's basically it, guys. So again, a big thank you to Brennan Harding and the Hard Body team for sending me out this package. I'll definitely be putting this equipment to use. Now, for those of you who are wondering, am I a sponsored athlete? Technically, no, I'm not. He did, however, give me a code, and so if you guys do want to support me along the way and want to grab some insane gear, and from what I've heard, pretty much every single person that has his gear absolutely loves it. So definitely, I do think that if you do decide to pick something up, you'll absolutely love it. Whether it be wrist straps, lifting straps, a belt, or even knee sleeves, he's got all of it. So I definitely do recommend checking out his website. If you guys do want to pick something up and support me along the way, I would highly appreciate it if you could use my code Cohnan at checkout. You won't get a discount, unfortunately, but you will help me out tremendously and you'll support me as well. So again, Hard Body, use my code Cohnan at checkout. Thank you. Anyway, with that said though, now let's get back into the video and go over my 150-day lean bulking transformation. Let's go. Okay, so as you guys saw from the intro of today's video, we woke up at 146.2 pounds, which is exactly 2 pounds up from this time last month. So yeah, a 2-pound increase within 30 days is pretty good considering that we are doing a lean bulk and we want to try to like minimize as much fat gain as possible while maximizing muscle growth. So around 1 to 2 pounds per month is a pretty good kind of ballpark to sit around. Now I do remember that a couple months ago, I jumped weight like super quickly. I jumped from like 140 to like 144, so I gained like 4 pounds in a month. And obviously during that time I did gain quite a bit of fat, and what I did to kind of compensate for that is I just simply decreased my calories because I did notice that I was getting a bit too much fat and not enough muscle. So yeah, about 1 to 2 pounds per month is absolutely ideal. Obviously this can vary depending on your experience level, so if you're a brand new beginner, you can definitely expect a much greater increase in weight month to month, whereas if you're a bit more advanced and you're closer to your genetic peak, a slower rate of progress is probably a bit more appropriate. So anywhere from about 1 to 2, even 3 pounds per month is pretty accurate. And now I know it may sound like not a lot in the short term, but if you think about it long term, that's at least like 24 pounds gained within a year. So yeah, we're really taking our time with this thing. And so physique wise, I mean, it's kind of weird because I feel like the deeper I get into my bulk, the less I kind of see a difference. So obviously the deeper you get into your bulk, the more fat gain you will accumulate and the less kind of muscle gain you will see. Even though you're getting stronger in the gym and you may physically be getting bigger and stronger, it's kind of hard to tell, especially if you have like a layer of fat covering it. So it can be quite hard to tell whether you made progress or not, especially the deeper into your bulk you get. However, simply just looking at progress pictures is only one way to measure progress. There's so many ways to measure your progress, either the way you look in the mirror, the number on the scale, your performance in the gym, are you getting stronger in the gym? So again, there's so many ways you can kind of like see if you're making progress or not. So don't simply just rely on one single form of measurement. So don't simply just rely on looking at yourself in the mirror. Take all these other things into consideration. Is the weight on the scale going up? Are you getting stronger in the gym? Do you feel more energized? How do you feel during the day and stuff like that? So yeah, the way you look in the mirror is just one way to tell if you're making progress or not. There are so many different ways you can tell if you're making progress. So as you guys know, this past month we pretty much just been training at our home gym, which honestly isn't ideal in terms of like exercise selection because you are quite limited to the amount of exercises you can do if you simply just have a barbell and your body weight. So yeah, this entire month we did make some pretty good progress. However, I did mainly stick to some pretty basic lifts, which ultimately isn't the end of the road. Like obviously you should be focusing on the main compound lifts and aim to get stronger at them. However, I do think that incorporating some machine type of work within your routine is definitely beneficial as well, because you can definitely get a much higher stimulus to fatigue ratio, which simply means you get a much higher stimulus for that exercise with much less fatigue. So take for example the squat versus the leg extension. The squats give you a great stimulus, but at the same time they're so fatiguing, so you can only do a limited number of sets with them, whereas with leg extensions the stimulus is absolutely insane and the fatigue simply isn't really there. I mean, after a set of leg extensions, I mean, yeah, your quads will be absolutely on fire, but I mean, mentally, you're still pretty good to go. And your lower back doesn't get taxed either, and your central nervous system doesn't really get taxed either compared to doing a super heavy squat. So yeah, again, I do recommend not simply just relying on the heavy compound lifts every single day and incorporating or sprinkling some isolation work within your routine as well, just so you get the most bang for the buck in terms of your exercise selection. So with that said though, if you guys watched last video, you saw me go back to the gym. So yeah, I'm super happy to be able to be back in a gym now, having access to all this new machines. But obviously we are still sticking to the main compound lifts and aiming to get stronger at them. We are, however, sprinkling a bit more isolation type lifts within our routine as well, just again to get the most bang for the buck and hit all the different angles for your muscle. So yeah, this next month I'm really looking forward to what we can do this month, because obviously last month we were doing the home workouts, and not only that, we did have COVID as well, which kind of interrupted our whole lean bulking process, which honestly was kind of annoying and kind of sucked, because last month I didn't really make as much progress as I would have liked. I think I pretty much just stayed the exact same weight last month. So yeah, that obviously wasn't ideal. So yeah, I'm really happy to see that this month, however, we did make quite a bit of progress, which again, I'm super happy with. Okay, so moving forward, I don't think there's a whole lot we gotta change in terms of our workout and our nutrition, because I'm sure most of you have heard of this saying before, and it's simply that if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Like if something's working for you, if you're gaining weight, if you're getting stronger in the gym every single week, don't feel the need to constantly change what you're doing, because simply if it's working for you, just keep doing it. It's like, just because someone else is doing something else and it may be working for them, it doesn't necessarily mean that you gotta change what you're doing, because it may not work for you either. So I really do encourage you to kind of use trial and error, see what kind of diet, what kind of surplus, what kind of exercises work for you in order for you to progress. And then once you find that sweet spot, I recommend to just milk it out, stick with it for as long as you possibly can, milk out every single thing you can from that. And then once you do notice that things start to get a bit stale, or you start plateauing in either your weight or your progress in the gym, then you can start considering making changes. But up until you do that, I would say just keep doing what you're doing. So yeah guys, again, workouts will stay exactly the same. Obviously we are still implementing progressive overload with the compound lifts and isolation work as well. Secondly, the nutrition aspect of things are going to stay exactly the same. This surplus is absolutely ideal for me, because like I said, this is a lean bulk, not a dirty bulk where we just simply go all in and eat whatever we want. As much as I would like to do that, I mean, I know in the long term my health isn't going to thank me and my aesthetics aren't going to thank me either. I know it can be tempting, but ultimately if you think about it long term, you may end up gaining a bit more muscle doing it that way. But if you then decide to cut down again, you'll have to cut down so much excess body fat that simply is going to take you so much longer to cut down, and also probably isn't worth it either. So again, I do encourage you to do a lean bulk over a dirty bulk. Anyway, with that said, if you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to go give this video a thumbs up. I would highly appreciate it. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.